I know this video is going to change the way that you look at NFTs, because NFTs are not art. Art is one application in NFTs. With Web3, we are going to change the way that we interact with web applications. We are going to change the way that we interact in our daily lives. If I told you that you can actually use NFTs and replace user accounts, especially passwords, I am going to verify if the user is holding the NFT. And with that, I am going to grant access onto the application. If the user doesn't have an NFT, I am going to be denying access. How we are going to do this? Absolutely simple. We connect the user's wallet onto the application. We will compare the user account against the NFT smart contract, and we will make sure that the user is holding NFTs, and then we will allow or deny entry. And you might say, oh, but once the user logs in onto the application and they decide to sell the token or move the token, they are still logged in onto the application. Absolutely not. Watch this. Let's say the user is interacting with the application, opens the wallet and moves to a different wallet. Boom! Haha. Where do you think you're going? Absolutely not. I will be checking every second if the wallet is connected to the application. The moment the wallet is disconnected or replaced with a different wallet, guess what? You're out of here. I am not going to give you access. And they're saying that Web3 is a joke. Let me tell you, you are going to need a Web3 wallet to tweet that Web3 is a joke. Simple as that. The days of remembering passwords and the risk of getting an account compromised because your password was stolen are over. Because with Web3, we can use NFTs as authentication mechanisms. Yes, imagine you have an NFT. That NFT is associated to a user wallet. The user wallet is connected onto a web interface, onto a mobile application, onto an IoT device. And if you don't know what an IoT device is, it's an Internet of Things device. Refrigerators, microwaves, door handles, any small device that is connected to the internet can interact with Web3. And this is where the fun part begins. I can actually mint an NFT, drop that NFT onto a wallet, and provide access to a user. Imagine this scenario. You got an apartment for rent. You are constantly dealing with the struggle of allowing access onto that apartment because you have to handle the keys to the tenant. Whoever rented that apartment needs to have the keys in order for the guest to go inside the apartment. So you have to manually go there and provide the keys to the user. Why don't you drop an NFT to a user wallet, and when the user arrives at the location, opens his or her wallet, scans the QR code that will be attached to the wallet, and establish the Web3 connection to the door handle, which is going to be a smart door handle. I will check if the user possesses the NFT, and I'm going to grant him access. And you might say, but the user is going to stay with that token forever. That means that he can open that door forever. Absolutely not. There is a type of NFT called the Rentable NFT. Oh my God, here we go. With the Rentable NFT, I can actually apply an expiration timestamp, meaning that after that moment on, that NFT is no longer valid. Boom! I'm telling you, if you become a millionaire because of this video, I have a wallet for donations, okay? And this keeps getting better and better. What if I told you that you sold a collection of NFTs? Now, you know what you can do? You can create your application and only allow access to particular sections on the application to particular NFT holders. Let's say you have multiple NFT collections. Collection 1 will be to users that wants to have full-blown access to the entire application, okay? A VIP user collection. You have a more restricted collection and you have a general collection. You want to provide different levels of access or different levels of features to users holding different NFT collection tokens. Very simple. We can build 3 different smart contracts, one for VIP holders, second for preferred members, and then another 3rd collection for general holders. I will use those smart contracts to create user role, which basically means that if a user is holding an NFT from collection 1, he's going to have more access than someone that is holding an NFT from collection 2. I am going to tell you one thing. When we have innovation, all amazing ideas come into place. The majority of people that I've been talking to are underestimating the power of NFTs. And sadly, I have to admit, the industry right now is Wild Wild West. You know, there's people selling collections without any intentions of developing a proper roadmap or an actual use case. And ultimately, investors lose their money because there was no intention or goal with the roadmap money grab scheme. And when we grab an amazing solution and we fool people, the solution loses confidence. We cannot just use NFTs to authenticate users. I am going to show you how can we use NFTs to create user accounts and provide different levels of access to end users. You have a social media application, and that application has many features. If you have different levels of access, you can categorize the user accounts into different groups. We grab that attribute and then we provide the access to the application. We want to go a little bit further than that. Let's say that we have an NFT collection, but a particular NFT provides extra benefit, meaning that I'm going to give discounts on the application. There's a paid utility, there's a paid service or product. If you hold an NFT from this collection, I'm going to give you 20% off. If you hold an NFT from this collection, I am going to give you 30% off. And I am going to let you make decisions and suggest and be a contributor to the platform. Again, the possibilities are endless. I am going to start with this. We're going to go right into the nitty-gritty of how can we configure Web3 to completely eliminate the need for passwords. Let's say you are going to create a portal that is going to be subscription-based. Yes, I am saying that you can issue NFTs to provide access to a platform, and every month that NFT expires, if the end user wants to continue on the platform, he makes a subscription payment or she makes a subscription payment, and we airdrop a new NFT with a new expiration date on it for 30 more days. If the end user wants to buy a yearly plan, we then issue an NFT with 1 year of expiration. Let's go ahead and let's make this happen. So what I want to do now here, I am going to place a connectWallet button. This will be like the login page for the app, okay? Let's do it very simple. Then I'm going to create 2 additional pages. I am going to create one page that says welcome, another page that says deny, okay? So if a user holds NFTs, we're going to redirect the user to the welcome page. If the user doesn't hold NFTs, I am going to redirect the user to the deny page. Very simple, okay? Let's go. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is basically the home page, the page that we saw moments ago. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to create 2 additional pages. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this whole thing. Let's Control A, Control C, new file, and let's call this welcome. Yes, okay, let's just call this welcome. Yes, let's go to pages. I'm just going to move it inside the pages folder. Okay. Let's make another page called denied. Okay, so we're gonna do a second JS file called denied. This will be our second page. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay, we got the pages. Now under welcome, I'm just gonna paste what I copied from the index. This is the default page. Okay, so now on the welcome, what I want to do, I want to remove everything that I don't need here. I'm just going to display, hey, welcome or deny. Okay, remove all this. And let me say here, welcome. Okay, awesome. So this is the first. Okay, let me Control S. And let's do the same for deny. And let's say here, access denied. Okay, I'm gonna save it. Let's see if those pages are showing correctly. So let me go ahead, / welcome. There you go. So we got welcome. Now let's give it a shot with denied. Access denied. Perfect. Awesome. So now we can redirect. Okay, we got the pages. Cool. Next thing that we have to do, let's build a component folder and let's add all the functions that will interact with Web3. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back here. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to go to index. I think that's good for now. I am going to create a new folder. Let's call this components. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to create a couple of functions that we will call in our main index page. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to store the smart contract addresses on the NFT collection. I am going to deploy a NFT collection. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I got the NFT collection right here. So I'm going to compile. Okay. And then I am going to deploy that. Let me make sure that I'm using the right wallet. Okay, I'm going to use my deployer wallet. And we're going to deploy this NFT collection smart contract in Mumbai. I got this file in my GitHub. I will be providing the links below. Okay, so you can find the smart contract so you can practice alone. Okay, so I got my Polygon Mumbai. Cool. Now I'm going to add my provider, which is MetaMask, and then the account. And let me go ahead and deploy. I should get a prompt, which we do. Okay, confirm, and we are deploying the smart contract. Let's wait for the confirmation. Cool, awesome. We got the confirmation. Now, I got the smart contract address. Let's copy that because we need that to make our calls. Okay, so let's go ahead under components. I am going to create a new file. This file, let's call this config. So inside here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to store all the variables, values that I need to communicate onto the application. For now, I'm just going to store the NFT smart contract address. Okay, so I want to export a constant. Let's call this NFT collection, right? And then we're gonna equals, and then we'll paste the contract address, and there you go. So that's the only thing that I need to store here, okay? Now, under components, I am going to create a new file, right? This new file, we want to call this new file the Web3 Connect. Again, it's a name that I'm going to add to make sure that I know those are my Web3 functions. You want to make sure when you build your web apps, then you have a separate page for your functions, and then you can call those functions remotely. It looks cleaner. Your code is, it's clean. Then you know exactly where are your functions. If there's an issue that you have to debug, you know exactly where you need to look for. Okay, cool. Web3 connectJS. I'm just calling in that. And as a matter of fact, we got to import the ABI. So in the smart contract, in order for us to do calls using our Web3 JS library, in this case, we're going to use ethers, I need to have an ABI. So then I know what functions am I going to call, or what functions I can call to the smart contract, okay? So let's go back to my compiler. In this case, I'm using Remix. And if you go back onto compile, you see the smart contract file, then you've got ABI, so we're gonna copy that, okay? Now, let's go and create a new file, okay? So we're gonna create a new file. Let's call this NFT ABI.json because it's a JSON formatted data that we are going to paste in this file. We're gonna Control S, we have it saved, good to go. Awesome. So now we got the Web3 Connect. Now what I can do, I can import my values so then I can interact with Web3. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to import, and we want to import the NFT smart contract. So NFT collection contract, right? NFT collection. And you know what? We should call this contract because it sounds more clear, right? So you're not confused. So NFT contract. Okay, cool. So that's imported. Now I need to import the ABI. So we're going to call, let's build that variable NFT ABI from and NFT ABI. So let's just invoke right here. Okay, so we're basically calling NFT ABI from this file, importing it, so then I can interact in my JS code. Okay, so we got that there. Awesome. Now I need to also import my libraries. By the way, when you first deploy this application, when you create the application with NPM, you deploy your NextJS server, you have to install some dependencies. The only two dependencies that I will be installing here are Web3 model and ethers. Web3 model allows me to interact with the Web3 wallet. In this case, we're going to be using MetaMask. And ethers allows me to do Web3 calls to the blockchain. Okay, good. All right, awesome. So let's import ethers from ethers. And then finally, I am going to import model from Web3 model. Okay, awesome. So now I got the two libraries that I need to use to interact with this application. Cool. Now, let's do the following. Now we are going to build the function that will connect the wallet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And this will be a function that I need to export onto the index because remember, we are going to build a button and the button will just connect the wallet and make the call. And then we can check the NFTs and then do the conditions. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so let's go export. We're going to export an async function. The name of the function will be connect wallet. Okay. And then once we connect the wallet, then the first thing that we are executing, we need to go ahead and enable the Web3 model. So then we can start talking with the wallet. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a constant. It's called Web3 model, right? Then I am going to invoke what? My library, which is Web3 model. You can see it up right here. Okay. The function, and we're good to go here. Okay, awesome. So we got the first function calling the Web3 model. The second, let's build the connection to the wallet. This is how we open the wallet. Okay, we're going to await a Web3 model, which is my constant, right? And then we're going to say connect. Got it? Awesome. So those two functions, the moment I enable those two functions or I call those two functions, are going to open the Web3 wallet. From there, I need to continue telling what the application is going to do. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tell constant providers. I now need to provide ethers.js. Who are you using to make my calls to the blockchain? Okay, so in this case, I'm going to now call ethers. Okay, and we are going to use the providers function. And then we're going to say Web3 provider, and which is going to be my provider? Connection. Okay, so now connection, it's basically provided as the provider for the ethers call. Now with ethers, I am going to use whatever provider is on the wallet to make my calls. So what do we expect from the user? They must be connected to, in this case, we're using the testnet, Mumbai, but if it's the production blockchain or the production mainnet, it's going to be Polygon, okay? All right. Constant signer, basically this is to obtain the information from the end user, or in this case, the wallet that was connected, right? This is the parameters that I need to use so then I can perform my calls, okay? And then now I need to obtain the address of that wallet because I got to use the value to call the NFT smart contract and then confirm if that wallet is holding NFTs, okay? So what I'm going to do, I am going to call the signer, right? The one that we just created. And then we're going to say get address. There is a function that allows me to obtain the value from the signer. What the smart contract is expecting a string of the wallet address. So we need to convert the address raw to string, and then we can do the call to the NFT smart contract. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do constant, I'm going to do address, but in this case, let's call this string str, address str. Okay, and then I am going to call address raw, but I want to obtain what the value of that address is. Okay, so we're going to say await address raw. Okay, and then what am I expecting to get? The value of. Okay, why am I doing this? Because this variable is going to return a promise. I cannot send the promise directly into the blockchain call. I have to provide the wallet. As if I was connecting straight to the smart contract and interacting, I will need to paste the wallet that I want to check. Okay, so this is how I get those values. Okay, now I can use the address string and do the Web3 call to the blockchain. So then we can query the smart contract. Okay, very straightforward. Now let's build that Web3 call. Let's call let contract. Okay, and we are going to say, let's say new ethers contract, right? And then we are going to store the collection smart contract address. This is the first parameter that I need to provide to that call. Then I gotta provide the NFT ABI. And finally, I have to sign. I have to send the call using my signer, which is the wallet. Okay, so I got the signer right here. I'm basically calling it on the smart contract call. So this is your Web3 call to the blockchain. When I interact with the contract address, and then I know what functions can I call because I am invoking the ABI, which I have it stored right here. Okay, and I have the signer, which is the wallet. Okay. Now we're definitely going to do some fun things. Okay. Now I want to get the information. Let's get the get IDs because I want to get the NFT IDs that the wallet is holding. If there's no NFTs, I should get undefined. I should get a response of undefined. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do, I am going to await. Okay. Contract. And then I can tell what functions inside the contract can I call. I can call any the functions that the contract has available. I can call them now. I can then make those calls. So I'm going to say contract. And what am I going to call? There's a function called wallet of owner. Basically, that function is going to give me the list of NFTs that wallet is holding. Okay. But we need to provide the wallet address. What address are we going to provide? Remember when we converted the address that we obtained from the signer, from the wallet to string? This is the value that we are going to place right here. Okay, address string. There we go. Awesome. All right, we're good. We're very good now. Okay, now what I need to do, I want to see what response am I going to get when I do the get IDs call. Okay, so I'm going to say console log get IDs. Okay, now when I call this function, I should obtain in the web console, in the web browser console, the output of whatever information I got from that call. Guess what? We're going to get unidentified because remember, we deployed the smart contract, but I haven't bought any NFTs. I am not holding any NFTs on the wallet. We're going to change that. But first, I want to show you what we should get if we don't have NFTs. So then we can use that value and then we'll do our conditions. Okay. Now I got this function ready to go. Okay. So what am I going to do now? I need to import the function into the index so that we can build the button that will make the call. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say import. What's the name of the function that I created? connectWallet from, and you can see auto-populated components Web3 Connect. This is the file that we configure that function. Okay, so we imported the function. Now we can use the function here. So what I'm going to do, check this out. I am going to, let me go back onto the index. Okay, so this is the index. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change the title to connectWallet or connect to app, and then I'll just have a wallet button right here. Okay, so let's do that real quick. So let me go into here. Okay, so let me replace this connect to app. All right, and then I am going to add a button, and the button is going to say On click, because I want to invoke that function, right? On click, what am I going to call? I am going to call connectWallet, okay? So now you can see that it turned now on. And let me close this, and now let's put the name. And let's say connectWallet, something like that, okay? And let me Control S and see how that goes. So go back, and you can see the button right here. Let me put it a little bit bigger. Under button, I can say style equals, and then the brackets, and then I can type font size, and then I can say 25 pixels. Let's see if that does it. That's good. That's good. Awesome. So let me go back, make sure that it's saved, and let's see what we get. Remember, we are going to call this function, which we created separately. We separated the function from the HTML, the index page. So we have everything clean, organized. We're separating the functions onto a separate component file, okay? Now, if I press the button, I should be able to get the output from this call. So we should know everything is good to go. So let me go ahead and do that. And let me go back. Let me press the F12. That basically is the console. We should be receiving information here, okay? So let me go ahead and give it a shot. Boom, we got something. And the array shows a length of 0, which means that there's nothing in the output, okay? So that tells me there's nothing there, okay? Which is fine, okay? Because we don't have NFTs. Now let's buy NFTs. Let's buy an NFT, but as a matter of fact, I'm not going to use the deployer wallet. Let's use wallet 1. So I got this wallet, and to the 1, I am going to buy NFTs on this one, and then we're going to have a second wallet that is not going to have any NFTs so that we can test access, okay? So let's go ahead and do wallet 1, okay? So I'm going to do wallet 1, and let me go to my smart contract. Let me open the smart contract. I didn't put any price to the NFT, so then we can buy without any issues, okay? I'm just going to copy my own address. And let me put it here, and let's mint 3 NFTs. Okay, so I'm going to transact, which you get the prompt. We do get the prompt. Confirm. Now we wait, and we should get the NFTs on that wallet. Then we'll run again the connectWallet and see if we get a different result in the array. Okay, you saw this previous call. There was nothing because I don't have NFTs, but now I do. The transaction got confirmed. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. There we go. Now we definitely got 3 NFTs, and you can see the values here. So now I definitely have information that I can use to differentiate a user that has NFTs from this collection versus a user that doesn't have NFTs. Okay, let's make this magic happen now. Let's go back to Web3 Connect, right? And what I'm going to do now, I am going to output the console log. I'm going to still output the same value, but in this case, I am going to specify that I want to obtain the value from the first key or the first index in the array, which will be the value of 0. So the first index in the array will be 0. Okay, so if I do that, I am effectively getting the first value out of that array. So I'm going to Control S. Okay, and let's go back and let me refresh and see what we get. Sure enough, we get only the first one. Okay, that's good. That's awesome. Now, with that said, I want to make sure that if I change the wallet to a wallet that I don't have any NFTs, I will get undefined. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's give it a shot again. Perfect. Now I know that I don't have any NFTs on the second wallet, and I can do the conditions. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now is that if the output from the last call, right, if the output from this equals undefined, I want you to redirect that user to the deny page. Else, I am going to grant access and redirect to the welcome page. Let's do it. All right. So what I want to do, I am going to do the following. I am going to say if, right, get IDs 0 equals what? Undefined. Okay, equals undefined. Then this is what I want you to do. I want you to return. I'm going to show you something that is very cool. It's a way to convert this value to a simple string or a simple number, so then I can fetch that information in index and continue checking if the user is trying to be smart on us and change the wallet to a different wallet for some reason. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say return 0, meaning that if the value that you obtain from this is undefined, tell me by returning 0. Okay, else I want you to return 1. Okay, so now I know that if the value that I obtain when I do the call doesn't have any NFTs because it's matching undefined, I should get a response of 0. And then else I should get a response of 1. If I get a response of 1, that means that the user have at least 1 NFT. Okay, so I'm going to control S. And what I'm going to do here, I am going to grab that information, right? And then we will test if we get 0 or 1. Let me do another function here. Function, let's call this async. Function verify user. Okay, so we're going to verify the user. And inside this function, then we should get the information from the call to the wallet. And we should get 0 or 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to constant value or constant output from what? From connectWallet. So in this case, instead of me calling connectWallet straight into the button, I am going to call this instead. Okay, check this out because I want to run some things right here. Now I want to confirm what do I get from that call. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to replace this with verify user, which is going to call me connectWallet, and then from there I should get the output. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm going to control S. Let's go back and let's take a look. connectWallet, and we're getting a promise state of pending. I know what it is. We have to run this with await because we need to expect the response. So we need to await. We need to tell the application, hey, stop, await, process, and then give me the return. We're going to fix this now. Let's go back here in connectWallet, just place await. So then we can hold and await for the response, or in this case, the return. Okay. So now let's control S. Let's give it a shot again. Save, connect. Beautiful. 0. Meaning that the wallet that is connected and attempted to connect has no NFTs. Okay. If the wallet, let's switch to a wallet that does have NFTs and give it a shot. Let's see what happens. connectWallet. 1. Awesome. Awesome. Let's switch it back to 2. Let's give it a shot. 0. Working like a charm. Okay. Now we can identify if the wallet has NFTs or not. Okay. And NFTs from the collection that we just deployed and minted. Okay. Cool. Now what we need to do, let's go back here. Now that I know that I'm going to obtain either 0 or 1, what do I want to do? I want to redirect users to the page and as I want. You know, if the user doesn't have NFTs, it's going to go to the deny page. If the user does have NFTs, it's going to go to the welcome page. Let's do it. Let's do it. If what? Output, meaning that if I get from this output 0, right? What do I want to do? Check this out. I want you to router. Remember, we're going to be calling the hook. Use router so then we can move that user to a different page. Router push. Okay. Where do we want to push? We want to push to, okay, if else, okay, let's say else, let's welcome the user, right? If it doesn't match the first condition, that means that the user has NFTs. So we're going to say router push where? Welcome. That's basically how am I going to tell which page is the user going to be redirected to. Okay. Do you want to see this working? Let's control S and let's give it a shot. Let's pray. right now I have a wallet that it's that does have, no, this one doesn't have NFT, so we should get the access denied. Good, awesome. Let's switch it to a wallet that does have NFTs. Let's go back. Let's give it a shot. Boom. You like that, huh? You like that. Awesome. But now here's the problem. If I change myself to a wallet that doesn't have NFTs, I'm still in the page. So we have to fix that. How do we fix this? We have to constantly run this every second or every 2-3 seconds. Check, check, check. The moment it doesn't have, kick them out. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and now in order for us to do that, I have to remember the user will be redirected onto the welcome page. What we don't want is anyone that doesn't have NFTs to stay in this page. We need to kick them out. All right. So what I need to do, I need to invoke the same functions. Okay. I am going to import, right? I am going to import the connectWallet, right? So we're going to import connectWallet. And then from here, I am going to import useRouter because we need to redirect. Okay. And then we are also importing useEffect. I am importing useEffect because with that hook, I can then rerun the task of checking the wallet after every X amount of seconds, right? So I can apply 10 seconds, 5 seconds and 2 seconds, whichever it's the case. Okay, so I'm going to say import useEffect from React. Okay, and this will be from the React library. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to call the connectWallet, similar as we did on the index. I am going to, as a matter of fact, I can even do the same. So let me copy and paste. Let me save time, right? I am going to copy this. I am going to add that here, right? Now I can effectively configure the router equals useRouter. Boom, done. Okay, cool. And I am going to build that useEffect. So we're going to use effect, and we're going to open that, and then we're going to say the following. This is how we invoke that useEffect. Inside the useEffect, what I need to do, I need to create a constant that is going to be triggered. So then we can keep running the verify user endlessly. Okay. So we're going to type constant check authorization. Okay. And then what am I going to do here? I am going to set an interval. So then I can say, check this out. This is cool. So I can now at that interval, the interval allows me to put a time. So every X amount of time, I am going to run this. Okay. At the set interval, what am I going to do? I am going to run what command, what condition? I am running verify user. Okay. So this is the function that we just imported. Okay. And then I gotta say comma here, and I'm gonna tell every 2 seconds. This is actually 2 seconds. So 2000 milliseconds, 2 seconds. And then we effectively have to close the set interval with this. Cool. Now I need to make sure that I can constantly call this. So what you do, you are going to return this once again. So I am going to return the value that you got here. Okay. But it's a very special return. What I'm going to say, I'm going to return what? It's going to be the clear interval, because this value, the moment this value clears, I want you to run clear interval, which then will re-trigger this once again. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, and 2 seconds. That's how it works. Okay. So clear interval, and then inside what we want to clear, you check off. This is how I'm going to turn this effect. I'm going to start doing this every 2 seconds. Okay. Control S, right? So we control S. We should be good. We should definitely be good. So now the moment the user matches this condition, it's going to verify the user. If the user doesn't have any NFTs, it's going to be moved automatically onto the deny page. Control S, let's go back. And nothing is happening because the wallet that I have is the wallet that's holding NFTs. So everything looks good. Let me switch to a wallet that doesn't have NFTs. Here he goes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Let's switch back. Okay. So we're going to switch back. Let's hit the back page. Good. Let's switch it back to the wallet that doesn't have NFTs. Boom! You like that or what? You definitely like that. When you start thinking outside of the box, you bring amazing ideas into life. And that's reality. All amazing inventions have been done because someone thought outside of the box. Someone thought different from the rest. That's how amazing inventions have been done. How simple was that? Simply by using NFTs, we were able to authenticate users, adapting something that we thought that was only being used for art for something completely different. Okay? And this is where innovation comes into place. You need to innovate. If you have a crazy idea, go for it. Go for it. That's the only way that you are going to find out. It all depends on how crazy and how big is your idea. If you have faith in what you believe is going to be successful, go for it. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope that you loved what we did in this amazing tutorial, and this is not over. On the next video, we are building a user profile using NFTs and IPFS. We're going to be allowing users to store their profile pictures into IPFS. We will still authenticate users using NFTs, and we will also store the user profile details using a database. So we will combine a full stack between decentralized and centralized infrastructure because we still have to work with centralized infrastructure. I am a very huge advocate for decentralized infrastructure, but hey, if we leverage centralized infrastructure, we can also start saving on gas fees. When it comes to storing in the blockchain, there's definitely data that you should store in the blockchain. There's data that you can get away with storing it not in the blockchain. So you can start saving in gas costs. Remember, storage in the blockchain, it's expensive because you have to pay more gas fees in order for you to transact, okay? So on the next video, we are building a full-blown, full-stack user profile dashboard for Web3 applications. So that's it for this video. I hope that you like what I showed you in this amazing tutorial. If you like my content, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed too. Hey, and we'll see you on the next video. Of course. Bye.